it's up to me, I can show you my world. We can go through it all. You just leave it up to me. Take a trip to the stars, I can show you it all.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I created this skirt crease using the new Ultimate Eye Palette by NYX Cosmetics in the number 07 Smoke Screen. And the first shade I'm blending in my crease is the lightest shade, which is basically the same shade as my skin tone, so you won't really see it. And now I'm going to apply these Anytude eyeshadow shields, which are available at my website. I will put the link in my description bar, but these come in super handy to pick up any eyeshadow fallout. Also, they will leave you with a super clean line once you remove them. So now I'm going in with this purple shade, and this is quite a dark shade, so I applied a very tiny amount on my brush, and then I'm going to slowly build it up in my crease. So luckily this eyeshadow wasn't like super pigmented, which made it easier to build it up and not going in with too much product at the same time. So this comes in handy in this case, but to be honest, I wish this palette had a sort of in-between shade, which is lighter as this one, so you could like build it up a little bit more smooth, because you can see this really weird texture on my eyelid right now, which I don't experience with any other eyeshadows. So yeah, to be honest, I wasn't really sure if I liked this palette, but I will tell you more about it later in this video. So now I'm going in with this shade next to that, which is like a navy blue shade, which also has a sort of green undertone. It's a really pretty blue shade, and this is also slightly darker than the purple shade, so I'm focusing in my outer V and I'm just blending my brush back and forth around that area. Now I'm going back in with that nude shade which I blended in my crease before, and I'm applying it a little bit underneath my brow to make the transition look a bit more smooth. Now I'm going in with this HD Concealer by NYX Cosmetics, and I'm going to use this for all over my eyelid. Every time I do a cut crease, I normally always go in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I think it's such a long time that I have ever used a different concealer to do this step. But I really noticed that this concealer was quite nice to use for the eyelid. It's very smooth and it applied just a little bit more easy. The MAC Pro Longwear concealer dries really quickly, which sometimes makes it harder to blend it out. And yeah, I just experienced this, which was like a surprise to me, because I'm so used to using that concealer and I always was like, oh, that's my ride or die concealer for the eyelid. But yeah, I also really like to use this one, so I'll be using this in some more of my upcoming videos since it's a drugstore. So now I'm going in with this light pearly shade, and I'm going to use my MAC 242 brush to apply this at my inner corner. Well, not my inner corner, but the beginning of my eyelid. And then next to that I'm going in with this purple shade, and for both of these shades, the light pink one and this one, I did make my brush wet using some setting spray. Just to make it more intense. I was really disappointed by these eyeshadows because they look so pretty in the palette, but once you apply them they just don't look like how they look in the palette, so that's kind of disappointing. And now I'm going in with this blue shade, and same story, it looks amazing in the palette, but once you apply it, it's just like a very boring shade and it doesn't have that shimmer which you see in the palette. So yeah, that's really disappointed. Also, I found it really hard to apply these. So yeah, I don't really know. I just didn't really enjoy using this palette. I own a few more of these new palettes, but I'm not quite sure if I want to make a video with them. So now I'm going in with this dark shade, which is a matte one, so it's not shimmery like the other ones on my eyelids. And I took my Morphe M506 brush, and I'm just going to blend this all the way in my outer V. And just trying to build it up, because again, it just didn't really apply well. I'm not sure if that's because I used the NYX concealer underneath it that doesn't really pick up the eyeshadows, but I also didn't like the shades in my crease, so I just think I don't really like this palette. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts. So now I'm removing my shadow shield, and you can see it leaves me with that super clean line, which is really nice. And I'm using my NYX Matte Liquid Liner to apply a line above my lash line first. And then I'm going to create a wing as well. And this is like where it comes in super handy that I use the shadow shield, because I basically now have a guideline to where I want to apply my cat wing. So yeah, if you struggle with creating a super sharp line, I think this would be really handy. Yeah, just to let you know. So this is the matte liquid liner by NYX. I do notice that it cracks a little bit. I feel like this one has the same, or well, it's a little bit more smooth, but it's also comes in the line with the Vivid liners. They have the same packaging. Yeah, the texture is a little bit more smooth, but what I really didn't like about the NYX Vivid liners is that once you apply them, it dries and you get all these sort of cracks. And I also noticed it happening with this liner. But yeah, I just went over it after seeing that and it didn't happen again, so that's nice. But yeah, I never experienced this with my NYC liquid liner, which is my favorite. So I just wanted to quickly mention that, just in case you're interested in buying this. It does crack a little bit. So now I'm going back in with the NYX palette and I'm using that light pearly shade again. And I'm applying it right underneath the lower line. Same I'm going to do with this purple shade, applying it a little bit more towards my middle part. And this is a pencil brush by NYX Cosmetics. And now I'm going in with this blue shade and I'm going to blend this at the outer part and in the middle part using my pencil brush by Dose of Colors, which is really nice to blend out like your lower lash line. So now for my mascara, I use the NYX Double Stacked Mascara, which is really nice. The bristle isn't like too big. So I coated a thin layer at my upper lashes because I'm going to apply lashes anyway, so it doesn't really matter how they look. I'm always trying to focus a little bit more on my lower lashes. So now I'm going in with the Attitude Snobby Lashes, which are really dramatic, but I just feel like these look really great in combination with Apricot Crease. So my final thoughts on this palette is that I just find it really hard to work with, and for some girls that have less experience with applying eyeshadow, it might be even harder to work with this. So yeah, I really don't know what to say about this palette. I do like the outcome of this look, I do have to say, but yeah, it just took me a lot of work to make it work, if that makes sense. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys!